I'm going to read you an article from the BBC, the British Bullshit Company. Apparently, Nigeria is still having insecurity issues. Now, keep in mind that back in December, Donald Trump sent the U.S. military into Nigeria, promising Nigerians that he was going to kill the terrorists and end your insecurity issues. This was back in December of last year. But according to this article, that's not the case. Now, I'm sure you recognize the four men in the picture. The Nigerian President Tinubu, Burkina Faso's President Ibrahim Traore, Niger's President General Tchiani, and Mali's President Assimi Goïta. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger condemn Tinubu for wetting talk about regional security. Now, it sounds like the president of Nigeria was blaming Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger for the insecurities going on in Nigeria. Now, he's not blaming France. France is sending terrorism into the Sahel. And he's not blaming America. America is also sponsoring terrorism. And he's not blaming Ukraine. Ukraine is also a sponsor of terrorism in Sahel. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read you some of this article. I'm not going to read you the whole thing. I read the whole thing so that I could get a better understanding of it. But it's obvious that the person who wrote this article had some kind of a problem with certain English expressions. And for me, it was a really difficult read. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger done sharply caution Nigeria President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on top comments where he blame the worsening insecurity for Nigeria partly on the collapse of security for neighboring Sahel states. So, this is Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger cautioning Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu on the comments that he was making, blaming the insecurity of Nigeria on Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. The three countries will make up the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, being summoned Nigeria charged the affairs to Burkina Faso capital, Ouagadougou, on Thursday and accused him president say he represents inaccurate view of events for the region via attacks by jihadists they mount. So, if I'm understanding this correctly, the Burkina Faso government, the AES government, right, summoned some official from Nigeria to the capital of Burkina Faso, Ouagadougou, about the inaccurate view of events that their president, Bola Tinubu, reported. Nigerian leader Ben made the observation as Ide addressed traditional rulers for Nigeria on 30th July, as Ide explained why insecurity done increase across the country. So, on the 30th of July, the president of Nigeria, Tinubu, was explaining why insecurity has increased across the country. Now, as I said before, Donald Trump went back there. Donald Trump went to Nigeria back in December, right? And he promised you Nigerians that he was going to kill the terrorists and bring peace and stability to Nigeria. And I remember how you Nigerians were jumping up and down over this. Well, apparently that didn't happen. And what's funny is the U.S. military, as far as I know, is still there. So, if the U.S. military went to Nigeria to bring security, why is President Tinubu still complaining about insecurity? The article goes on. Some of them, the terrorists, know we Nigerians. You see, the problem of insecurity for Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, they worsen our difficulties. What the president said is that really none of the terrorists are Nigerians, and that the problems in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger is worsening Nigeria's security difficulties. Now, again, he's not blaming America, and America right over there. Again, he's not blaming France, and France over there. See, America and France are sponsoring terrorism over there. But Mr. Tinubu is not blaming any one of them. The security problems for Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger Republic, they add more fuel to Nigeria security challenges. So that's what the president of Nigeria was saying. He was blaming the present insecurity challenges, insecurity problems, on what's going on in the AES states. Keep in mind that these insecurity issues was going on even before the AES states were formed. One of the reasons that the AES states was formed is because of the insecurity challenges or the terrorism that was going on in that region, which France and the United States was there at the time, but did nothing about it. France, America, and Ukraine have been sponsors of terrorism from day one. But the Nigerian president doesn't bother blaming the white folks. He's blaming the insecurity issues going on in Nigeria on the Sahel Alliance. And you know what? They have nothing to do with it. I've told you, black people, before, nobody is going to fix any problem in Africa but black people. Back in December, you Nigerians was jumping up and down thinking Trump was going to do something for you. Trump sent the U.S. military in, Trump dropped a few bombs, and you still got terrorism. basically Mr. Trump went into Nigeria and took a shit on you. And you still got your problems. Nobody is going to solve the problems in Africa except black people. When you get that through your thick skulls, that's when you be on your way. Now here you have the president of Nigeria blaming another black country, 3 black countries on his problems when he knows damn well they are not responsible for the terrorism going on in that region. Something else here. Right at the very top of the article, right, is a section which says Nigeria. Then to the right of that, it says Nigerians elections 2027. So now you see why Mr. Tinubu is on here playing the blame game. This guy is planning to run for president again. So what he's doing is he's blaming the insecurity challenges or the terrorism. I'm calling it what it is. It's terrorism, jihadists. He's blaming the insecurity challenges on the AES states, the AES lines, because this guy wants to run for another term in office. In other words, he really doesn't give a damn about terrorism. That's a problem you Nigerians have to deal with. If anybody is going to bring security into Nigeria, it's you Nigerians. White folks are not doing it.